brave. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, the main character's name is fucking Strike.
Yes. Even better, the war band of soldiers that he's leading is Wolverines.
Oh my goodness.
Lieutenants are husky, foul tempered.
And then like they carry like a fucking human baby. I don't know. It's like really confusing. Wait, here it is. Wait.
They have a.
And the orc queen. The orc queen is Genesta. Alright, here it is. Okay. Should I read this like verbatim?
Yes.
Word for word.
Alright. Alright, should I start at chapter 3 and read the chapter up to like the point, or should I start right when they bring in the sex slave?
Right when they bring in the sex slave.
Okay. Two Imperial guards herded in a human prisoner at spear point. Chained hand and foot, the man wore only a loincloth. Around 30 seasons old. So if we're thinking 30 seasons, 30 like divided by 4. Is this how old this man is, or is he 30 years old?
30.
I think I hope they're talking about like
30
years.
seasons sounds enticing. So 30 divided by 4. I'm gonna literally. He's 7 years old. All right.
That's no.
He's either 7.5 or he's 30. Either way, the surprise of blood and will come. Around 30 seasons old, he was typical of his race and standing head and shoulders taller than the orc, prodding him forward.
That is a fucking huge ass 7-year-old.
Dried blood crusted blonde hair and beard.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, so 7-year-old with a beard. He's
I need to make Gordon priority
blood,
speak
like he's looking rough. But this is exactly how the queen likes him. He walked stiffly, partly due to the manacles, but mostly because of the flogging he had been given after his capture during the battle. Vivid red wheels crisscrossed his back. Ah, my guest has arrived. Greetings, the queen's syrupy tone held pure mockery. He said nothing. As she languorously approached, one of the guards jerked the trailing chain at the captive's wrists. The man winced. Genesta studied his robust, muscular frame and decided he was suitable for her purpose.
Why is this?
In turn, he inspected her, and it was obvious from his expression that what he saw confounded him. There was something wrong about the shape of her face. It was a little too flat.
Maybe
it's a little too flat!
A mite wider than it should have been across the temples, and it tapered to a chin more pointed than seemed reasonable. Ebony hair tumbled to her waist. Its sheen so pronounced it looked wet. Her dark, fathomless eyes had an obliqueness that what the fuck? Had an obliqueness that extraordinarily long lashes only served to stress. The nose was faintly aquiline, and her mouth appeared overly broad. None of this was exactly displeasing. It was rather as if her features had deviated from nature's norm and pursued their own unique conclusion.
What the fuck?
My artist mind is just imagine that in my head, and honestly, I'm fucking confounded. I'm still confounded this, dude.
Her skin, too, was not quite right. The impression in the flickering candle glow was of an emerald hue one moment and a silvery luster the next, as though she was covered in minute fish scales. She wore a long crimson gown that left her shoulders exposed and clung tightly to the outlines of her voluptuous body. Her feet were bare. Without doubt, she was comely, but her beauty...
voluptuous body, but the feet...
Her feet were bare!
Its effect on her prisoner was to both quicken his blood and excite vague feelings of disgust. In a world teeming with racial diversity, she was totally outside his experience.
I mean, those bare feet, though.
Her remarkable eyes were mesmeric. She had him feel that nothing could be kept concealed. The captive dragged himself out of the depths of that devouring gaze. Despite his pain, he smiled, all but cynically. He glanced down at the chains binding him. For the first time, he spoke. Even if I were so inclined, I could not. Genesta smiled, too. It was genuinely disquieting. My guards will be happy to assist, she replied brightly. The soldiers forced him roughly to his knees. That's better. Her voice dripped synthetic sweetness. Gasping from the added discomfort, he noticed her hands. The length of the slender fingers, extended by keen nails half as long again, bordered abnormal. She moved to his side, reaching to touch the welts covering his back. It was done softly, but still he flinched. She traced the angry red lines with the tips of her nails, releasing trickles of fresh blood. He groaned. She made no attempt to hide her relish. "Damn you, you heathen bitch," he hissed weakly. She laughed. "A typical uni. Any rejecting your ways must be a heathen. Yet, you're the upstarts with your fantasies of a lone deity. While you follow the old, dead gods worshipped by the likes of these," he countered, glaring at the orc guards.
I just want to say that I got up to shut my door, and then I came back, and the first word I heard was relish. And I was like, burgers.
So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna skip over this
Please
because they're
do,
talking
please.
about like orc fucking. No, not orc fucking, but they're talking about orc gods right now. The queen found that even more amusing, throwing back her head to laugh again. Ha! Enough of this. You're not here to engage in a debate, she nodded at the soldiers. Make him ready. He was yanked upright, then goaded to the marble slab, where they lifted him bodily by his arms and legs. The agony of being dumped unceremoniously on its surface made him cry out. He lay panting, his eyes watery. They removed the chains and fashioned his wrists with ankles. Wait, what? No, they fashioned his wrists and ankles with the shackles. Ganesta curtly dismissed the guard.
I was gonna say, excuse me, what?
She went to the brazier and sprinkled powder incense on the coals. Heaty perfume filled the air. Crossing to the altar, she took up the ceremonial dagger and the chalice. With an effort, the man turned his head her way. "At least allow me the mercy of a quick death," he pleaded. She loomed over him, the knife in her hand. She drew an audible breath and started to recite some prayer or incantation. His panic making the words an incomprehensible babble. "You're spattering gibberish," she chided. "Still your tongue." Blade in hand, she stooped and cut through the loincloth. She sliced away the material and tossed it aside. Placing the knife on the edge of the slab, she contemplated his nudity. Slack-jawed, stammered. "What?" His face reddened with embarrassment. He gulped and squirmed. "You unis have a very unnatural attitude toward your bodies," she told him matter-of-factly. "You feel shame where none should exist." She lifted his head with one hand and put the chalice to his lips with the other. "Drink," she commanded, sharply tilting the vessel. Enough of the potion poured down his throat before he gagged and clamped his teeth on the rim. She removed the cup, leaving him coughing and spluttering. Some of the urine-colored liquid dribbled down the sides of his mouth.
Oh no.
No.
It was quick acting,
No.
but short-lived,
No.
so she wasted no time.
No.
Untying the straps of her gown, she let it fall to the floor.
No.
He stared at her, wide-eyed in disbelief.
No.
His gaze took in her generous, jutting breasts.
No.
It moved down past her taut midriff to the pleasing camber of her hips, the long, curvaceous sweep of her legs, and the luxuriant, downy mound at her crotch.
The what?
Why was this book written?
Which combined
Downy mound?
the sumptuous charms of a human woman with the alien heritage of her crossbred origins. He had never seen the like. For her part, she recognized in him a struggle between the prudery of his unique upbringing and the innate hunger of male lust. The aphrodisiac would help tilt the balance in the right direction and deaden the pain of his ill treatment. If need be, she could add the persuasive powers of her sorcery. But she knew the best inducement would require no magic.
Took a fucking shower and I come back to this.
She slid onto the side of the slab and brought her face close to his.
No.
The strange, sweet muskiness of her breath.
This is an actual book, by the way.
She blew gently in his ear, whispered shocking, explicit endearments. He blushed again, knowing this time perhaps not entirely because of abashment. "Why do you torment me this way?" "You torment yourself," she responded huskily, "by denying the joys of the flesh." More! Giggling, the tips of her swaying breast tickling his chest. She made as if to kiss him, but drew back at the last. Wetting her fingers, she slowly trailed them down around his nipples until they became erect.
Okay.
His breathing grew heavier. The potion was beginning to work. Swallowing loudly, he summoned enough resolution to utter, "The thought of Congress with you is repulsive to me." Really, she eased onto him, straddling his body, her pubic hair pressed against his abdomen. He strained at the shackles.
Why her pubic hair specific?
Janesta was enjoying
Why did
his
this need to be
humiliation.
specified?
The destruction of his resolved. It heightened her own excitement. She parted her lips and disgorged a tongue that seemed overlong for the cavity of her mouth. It proved coarse textured when she started licking his throat and shoulders.
What?
Despite himself, he was becoming aroused. She squeezed her legs more firmly against the sides of his sweat-filled body and caressed him with renewed ardor. A succession of emotions passed rapidly across his face: expectancy, repellence, fascination, eagerness, fear. He half cried, half sobbed. No! I want this, she soothed. What else make yourself ready for me? She lifted herself slightly. Reaching down, she took hold of his manhood and guided it. Gradually, she moved against him, her lithe form rising and falling in a deliberate, unhurried rhythm. His head rolled from side to side, eyes glazed, mouth gaping. Her tempo increased. She writhed and began moaning. The motion grew faster. He started to respond, tentatively at first, then thrusting deeper and harder. Janesta tossed back her hair. The cloud of raven locks caught pinpoints of light that wreathed her in a nimbus of fire. Aware he was on the verge of gushing his seed, she rode him mercilessly, building to a frenzy of wanton rapture. He twisted, flailed, shuddered his way to culmination. Suddenly, she had the dagger of both hands, lifting it high. Orgasm and terror came simultaneously. The blade plunged into his chest. Again, and again. He shrieked hideously, tearing the skin from his wrists as he fought the shackles. Unheeding, she stabbed and hacked, cleaving at the flesh. His screams gave way to a moist gurgle. Then his head fell back with a meaty thump, and he was still. She cast away the knife and scrabbled with her hands, delving into the gory hollow. Once threads were exposed, she took up the hammer and pounded at them. They cracked, white shards flying. The substruction removed, she dropped the hammer and clawed through viscera, arms blood-drenched, to grasp his still faintly beating heart. With an effort, she ripped it free. She lifted the dripping organ to her wide-eaten mouth and sank her teeth into its warm tenderness. Great as her sexual gratification had been, it was nothing compared to the fulfillment she now experienced. With each bite, her victim's life force reinvigorated her own. She felt the flow replenishing her physically and feeding the spring from which she now drew her diet. Sitting crisscrossed on the steaming corpse's chest, her face, breasts, and hands smeared with blood, she happily feasted.
Okay.
Sucked the last of the juices from her throat.
Oh my god,
A
it's
young,
still going.
black and white cat slunk from a dark corner of the chamber. It meowed. Here, Sapphire, Janesta crooned, patting her thigh.
Yeah.
The she-cat leapt effortlessly to join her mistress to be tethered. Then sniffed the mutilated body and began laughing. And then she asked, she's like, what news of the Wolverine? The fucking orc guy calls his warband.
Yeah, this is an actual boat, so.
I'm gonna link this.
Please don't. I have to go through that again.
I'm gonna link this in Scriptorum. If you want to check it out, Chapter 2, my friends. Some hot reading.
That face, though.
Yeah, that's Strike, leader of the fucking Wolverines.
I would just
utterly destroyed.
I would just like to point out that in the there is a dwarf mercenary job. Just like to point out.
Hey, Calm.
Yeah.
Look at this battle.
Yeah, you just made all escape and run.
Well, I think I speak for all of us in saying that.
Escaping behind you.
Like how you got cut off as soon as you said something.
I said I think I speak for all of us when I say that we have just experienced something.
It's terrible.
Yeah, dude, that was hot.
Truly a religious experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rogaldorn in his free time.
Hey, I don't look. I don't like go out
Are
there
you?
and
Are
try
you
to
certain?
find. I don't go out there and try to find orc erotica. Okay, that's not how I roll. That's not what I do in my free time.
I came in, and then fucking Dorn came in. I was hearing a story about like prolonged dark or some shit. I take a fucking shower and I come back. And we're talking about fucking
Orc sex.
yeah, orc sex.
I didn't even. I'm gonna see if I can find the chapter where she fucks that chick.
Please don't.
Yeah, where she fucks the woman with the
Unicorn dildo?
with the unicorn strap on.
I just washed myself. Please don't.
It is nowhere near. It is nowhere near as bad as you think it is.
Really?
It's
Are you
probably
certain?
like twice as
I
bad.
mean, that scene was pretty bad already.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at this fucking battle.
Can it lags my computer? Well, not as bad. Now that you've killed a couple of them. You've killed 1,000 of them, by the way. They're just dropping like flies.
Dude, I still got
Some pages are
Oh, I wonder why.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I wonder why. Maybe it's
Why were those admitted, but not the suicide sex?
Chapter 7 literally begins, and I quote, "And ram what's left up your butt, strike concluded." This is a Pulitzer Prize winning novel.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I have 50 fucking magic points.
No, I've reached a page that, or my view. I've reached my viewing limit for this book. Damn it.
Well, then how are we gonna get more fantastic stories about the books?
I guess we won't.
Oh, what a shame.
No, right? It's really looking forward to it.
That's a damn shame.
This makes it better when you think, when you associate door with the actual door. You just picture your Primark doing this shit.
What?
That's great.
This is when you disown your own Primarch.
Damn.
You've already been prematurely. You've been preemptively disowned.
Guess what? I'm also the Lord Cypher, you bitch!
No!
Disgust.
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 No, you know what's disgusting? This fucking battle. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Are you obliterating again?
Call,
How bad?
explain what the fuck happened at the beginning of the battle.
Alright, so in the beginning of the battle, it was just one choke point with Lizardmen holding the line against literally 3,774 Skaven. Oh, they're all dead.
That's it?
Well,
That's
they're
it.
all
That's
running.
the battle.
Versus like 700 Lizardmen.
I want to co-op campaign with somebody where I can be the vampire count. But like, I want to annex. I want to get all the like. I want to get. I think I like the vampire count so much because they have so many legendary lords. Like if you manage to confederate with Musilion and Von Karstein.
Yeah, they got a ridiculous amount.
Because the fucking Red Duke is amazing.
I didn't know.
I was really surprised they added Boris in.
Boris
Todbringer.
Boris Todbringer. Yeah,
What a
he's
name.
been there. He's been in there
Boris.
since the Wood Elves came out.
I just think it's really funny, like his whole story with Kazric One Eye. where like it's like Kazrak took Boris's eye, so Boris took Kazrak's eye, and then they both die. like they meet on the field of battle, like outside Middenheim, while like the reincarnation of Sigmar is like fucking Archaon in the butt, and then Kazrak and Boris are like, we meet again, and his troops are like, nah, dude, you'll get fucking killed. Like, look at him, he's like 12 feet tall, and he's like, this is something I have to do by myself. Rip. And then they both kill each other, and you're like, well, that was fucking useless.
I like how Thorgrim died to a fucking sneak door. And
yeah, like I love the original End Times ending where whatever the fuck, Gorgrim? No, who the fuck's the orc?
I'm still trying to figure out what a sneak door is.
So after Thorgrim killed Queek, some fucking super assassin like walked out of a secret door in Thorgrim's throne room and stabbed the shit out of him.
What?
Yeah, he was stabbed by a Skaven.
Who's the like supreme orc, the chosen of Gorkenmore?
Oh, that's Grimgor Ironhide.
Yeah, Grimgor kicks Archaon in the dick and decapitates him, and that's how End Times ended before they retconned it and made AOS.
Yeah, that was Storm of Chaos.
Yeah, because like, whatever the fuck the orc shaman's name is, like, I need to go find the chosen. The chosen of Gork is. Warzag's like, I need to find the chosen of Gork and Mork, and he's like, all right, it's Skarsnik, and it's Gorgrim, or fuck, whatever his name is. Remind me again.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Grimgor.
Grimgor.
Hello.
And then he's like, they're the chosen. And then before he can catch up with Grimgor's like fucking up the Chaos Dwarves, and he's like, I'm fucking bored. So he like walks into this massive battle where Archaon is like 1v4ing like the Tyof brothers, the
Tyrion and Teclis.
Like, yeah, and then he's like as well as like as well as Vlad, and then like Carl, and he's like winning, and then like Grimgor just shows up and kicks him in the dick and is like, I'm the biggest master, and then like walks away, and that's how End Times ends.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how that ends.
I'm the biggest.
No, like anticlimactic end of the world scenario. It's just kicks him in the dick, walks away.
Yeah, no, he's like, I have the biggest dick energy here.
He says, I'm the best! And kicks him in the dick and decapitates him.
Yeah, like I think the 40chan page like has him like describes it as delivering the most solid kick to the dick that any fantasy character has ever received.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ! I just got a black ship, whatever it's called.
Blackheart?
Yes.
Blackhawks are cool.
And it has a War Hydra, Feral Manticore, 2 Cold One Knights, 6 Dread Spheres, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bleak Swords, 1, 2, 3, 4 Sisters of Slaughter, and a Supreme Sorceress of Fur.
God damn it, I want to play Total War now.
I've been using magic as Mazda Mundi like that whole fucking match.
Disgusting.
It was.
Blood is
I was fighting off against 3,000 Skaven with 700 Lizardmen.
Priestess.
And we fucking held them on the bridge and pushed them back.
The fuck?
You know, just like the simulation.
And then the frog chair was just sitting in the back, like lightning striking every now and again. And healing units causing fear for everybody else.
Brilliant.
Is there really a reason why you haven't just slaughtered anyone yet? If you could take 7,000 fucking lizardmen and hold 3,000 fucking rats?
Oh, I killed off Skeggy already. I think I killed off Skeggy. I should have killed off Skeggy.
Kill the rest of them. We know you can do it now. You just have to get through it.
Yeah, we're taking the Fallen Gates now.
Just take it all.
What the fuck's an alarm tunnel?
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a cat. That's
Shrill alarms sound off should detection sensors
Traps
be
are
triggered
gay.
by incorrect tail swishes.
What?
I wonder how big. Fuck, I forgot everyone's fucking name.
I'm gonna fucking.
You don't want to hear where my line of thought was going.
I kind of do, but
No, you don't.
After your story? No.
Who's the lizard men like Supreme Overlord? Not the Slan, but the big lizard. Krokar. How big is Krokar's dick?
That's a good question.
Dinosaur, so.
That's a good question, Doran.
Like, do you think it's girthier than his tail?
Yes.
probably. If
I don't doubt it.
But does he have a sheath for it?
Yes, he's a lizard.
Probably, yeah.
yes.
It's a lizard. It just curls on up in there.
No, he just has it fucking hanging freely. It's got special armor. he's up-armored his dick.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rogel Dorn. We're learning more and more about his kinks every minute.
I mean, same,
Nothing
though.
will ever beat when Dorn came on when I was doing the streaming for what you call it.
Words, Vask, they exist.
Dragon
I believe in
Age.
you.
English,
And he just
the English
goes,
language is
and he just
fucking
goes,
stupid.
Cullen is a handsome man.
It's a
Wholesome man.
wholesome man. And then Kin was like, he's never gonna do that again, and then he comes in and does it again.
I wonder if Slan have dicks. Or do they just like psychically reproduce like Sorry.
Well, they're spawned. Well.
What?
I don't know what to think about that. I don't want to think about the Asari today. God
If we're
damn it.
talking about this canonically, the Slan can't reproduce. And everything the lizardmen come out of a spawning pool.
Oh, like the orcs from Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
So who stirs the pool? Like
Skinks.
someone like
Skinks
so
do.
do they jack off into the pool?
No.
Stir the pot!
There's one skink.
Okay.
There's one skink with a stick, and he goes in and he's
What
like,
you're trying to tell me?
Does he
what you're
masturbate
trying
with
to
the
tell me
stick?
No.
is there's a group of these poor fucking bastards, like a whole unit of them, standing around the fucking spawning pools, jacked off 24/7 into the pool. Is that what you're fucking telling me?
Like you know those milkers?
Who was the first person?
like
Did the
hentai
first guy out of the
flags?
pool just stand there for like a month, jacking into the pool?
Is it like
or
a
something?
tube that just sucks his dick and then drains into the pool? Do Slan shit? Do Slan have assholes?
Oh my god!
Dorn, you're a precious bee.
Dorn is asking the real questions here.
How do beastmen reproduce?
The good
Oh,
old-fashioned
I
way.
actually know. I know how they do that. I know how they do that.
Okay.
Fuck
They
you for
they
losing the
steal women from the villages they raid, and they rape them, and after they give birth they kill them.
I wanna imagine two stocky as fuck, swole as the gold dwarves. One is male, one is female. You can only tell the difference because one has a slightly shorter beard. Just going at it, like just going... And you're like, look at our beautiful baby. He's gonna spend his entire. We're gonna name him, and he's gonna spend his whole life sitting in a litter, carried by other dwarves, reading a fucking book the entire time.
What?
Like this is what I want from our child. This is who he's gonna be.
My god.
Because that's all Thorgrim fucking does. Is he just sits in a fucking chair and goes, ah.
It's almost like he has to govern shit.
Oh,
he goes into battle on the fucking chair.
Yes, exactly.
He goes into battle on the fucking chair.
Like, how does he survive? Like, how does he wade into like 1v1 combat with someone? He's like, get on your own chair. We'll play chicken.
I just like how he sits on his chair and then he beats people with his mace. Like,
yeah, and then he doesn't even hit them. It just sends out like a generic shockwave.
Exactly.
He's just that fucking good, okay? Don't.
You know what would be hilarious?
He can fight on the chair if he wants to.
You know what would be hilarious if he got off the chair and just started beating people with the chair?
And then there's fucking Manfred I have daddy issues von fucking Karstein.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on Vlad. He was like, Isabella, I have not freed you. I cannot free you from your demon body. I must tackle you and throw you onto a stake. And he's like, and he fucking kills himself with his wife. And like
Isabella survives.
Like, no, Isabella doesn't fucking survive. She's impaled on a stake below him.
No.
Oh, yeah, she comes back.
Oh, that's
fucking
bullshit.
died.
What a Romeo and Juliet piece of, like,
Neferata.
I want to hear more about the frog that just says "fuck it" and rises out of his grave and he's on my wife. That is a fucking role model.
Neferata took her and like hit her when the world was ending.
I like how like the Green Knight. You're like, oh, it's the actual fucking Breton de Gilles or whatever the fuck his name is, and then
first king of Bretonnia.
Yeah, and then fucking Lewin becomes a fucking god for some reason.
He marries Liliath, I think.
Like he ascends to he's like the fucking Dwemer from Skyrim, where he just ascends to an entirely separate plane of existence.
He is a Dwemer.
Oh, you already have a War Hydra.
No, this is from the thing. The Black Ark. No, the Black Ark. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Alright, let's do this smart.
Aren't you happy they included the Cthulhu monster?
Yes.
Dorn.
Oh yeah, I have money. I could buy all the expansions for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
I'd be like, yo guys, let's play a
I know what I'm
game,
doing.
but you can't have funny shit like you can in the actual game. I wish it was more than fucking 2 people. I'd be playing Warhammer with you guys like all day.
Absolutely.
I would play as the vampire counts and I would talk in a Transylvanian accent the entire time.
I would love you for that, Dorn. Dorn, I love you for that.
Please.
I mean, I want to play on Karstein, but Brian's like, no.
I would feel obligated. I would feel obligated to always play Court of Liberas.
And then fuck me.
Look at the crazy bitches as they run forward.
I just sent them forward.
I don't want to play Long Dark anymore.
for it.
God damn it! I have to go like actually. No, I don't want to play Long Dark, but I can't save. Fuck you, survival mode.
I just sent them. I'm just like, you know what? They're gonna go ahead and.
I wanna play a game with shenanigans in it. I'm gonna read stuff for it too. I'm gonna go also get a bag of sour cream and onion chips because it's 11:24 p.m.
Having a fat girl moment.
Whoa. What was that noise?
What was that hellish thing?
Why are they all screaming?
I don't know. Let them scream.
Let me use the Hydra.
It's my Hydra.
This is nothing like the simulation.
This is nothing like this simulation. You were not prepared for this, Trooper.
This isn't what they're training me for.
Custodians and Marines in Star Wars can't get anywhere fast because they can't achieve fucking warp travel. God.
Guess what, bitch? You're walking,
being like,
Vegeta.
how the fuck am I supposed to walk here?
Just guess what, bitch? You're walking, Vegeta.
Really?
That'd be too funny. That would be too funny. We've made it. We got here 4,000.
You have to hitch a ride like some shitty little fucking sky later.
The librarian on board is like, we need to be here in 4,000 years, so we better start traveling.
You know what?
Yeah,
If my character was there, he'd hack into like the internet thing or whatever, and like, I'm gonna make us some FTL. Fuck this shit. They ain't gonna take me to 4,000 years to go to nuts.
Cypher would be so disorientated.
Just guess what, bitch? You're walking to Vienna. Says like, fucking.
The warp is calm. Well, that's because it's non-existent.
Some like
Taps
fucking
itself,
clone
here's
trooper
my
and
soul.
like an LA, like fucking clone trooper in LAAT. Guess what, bitch? You're walking to Vienna. Like, you talk.
Fortunate son plays.
I like how your Manticore hit one person and they went flying.
Somebody did that with the Umbara footage from the Clone Wars series. It's a thing. You can look it up on YouTube. It's pretty fucking good. They're gonna take it off Netflix, which sucks ass because I actually haven't watched it forever.
What?
Yeah.
What are they taking off Netflix?
Clone Wars.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the whole thing because they're making that new season. That's on their like.
No,
new
there's no
fucking
way they
app.
take it off because Netflix produced the 6th season. There's no way they don't.
They are. They're taking it. As far as I fucking know, they're taking it off.
There's some
It
bullshit.
was on a list somewhere.
Whatever. I'll just
I
look
can
it up
check
online.
again. They might not, but last I heard they fucking were.
No,
for the
because
new,
they have the license for until 2019.
Oh yeah. Okay. Maybe then.
Hold on, let me look that up. Because
Yeah. No, I don't remember where I fucking saw that, so I might be talking out of my ass here, but last I heard they were taking it off because the newest seasons are going up on that fucking like Disney app.
Gross.
Yeah, that's
yeah, no,
Disgusting.
it's not getting taken
No?
off until it wouldn't be taken off until like 2019 or 2020.
oh thank God. Yeah, because I haven't had a chance to like go through and fucking binge watch it again, but I really should.
Oh, you won.
Yeah,
Well
you
done.
sound surprised.
I was gonna say, don't sound so disappointed, please.
It's like, oh, you won. Like, what, you expecting me to die?
No.
Every time I hear Felicia,
I'll be
I
right
get
back.
flashbacks. Every time I hear Felicia, I
I was
get
gonna say,
flashbacks.
don't sound so disappointed, please.
It's like, oh, you won. Like, what, you expecting me to die?
No.
Every time I hear Felicia,
You'll
I
be
get
right back.
at this point, with like a couple more readings of it, I could probably actually give you the whole Rise of the Empire speech with like pretty close to, if not
Like one of the things that I
spot on
hated
fucking
about
accuracy.
I think one of the things that bothered me the most about the prequels wasn't the bad acting. It was what happens in episode 3, right as Count Dooku gets decapitated. And it's this.
Yeah.
Kill him now. Do it. Do it.
Like it goes from calm to just fucking do it, you pussy. Like, yo, what the fuck? Weren't you supposed to be in disguise?
Yeah,
My
and then
favorite-
like halfway into the movie, he's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm Lord Sidious," and then Anakin's like, "I need to talk to." And the thing is
fucking
that
Skywalker, and it's just,
he would have butchered Ventress if he ever got a hold of it. We both know it.
I think a lot of people would have fucking killed Ventress if they ever got a hold of it, to be fair.
I mean, the thing is,
Like,
the
from
thing
a
behind it
standpoint,
is,
I get it, but also, with all the shit that Ventress has done, like, to both sides, reasonably anyone of importance that got their hands on Ventress would probably just fucking kill her on the spot. Look, they're gonna ransom her off.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Ventress as a character. I like how she developed over the course.
Yeah, so did I.
And I just thought it was so funny because he goes from, we need to kill all the Sith to, I can't kill him. So, and then all of a sudden you rage the fuck out at your wife, and the best thing that you decide is you're gonna fucking force choke the bitch.
Force choke?
Like, you give this woman your life, and in a fit of rage, you're like, you're not supposed to be.
Like, you're literally betraying one of the tenants of her order just to be with her, and then you get pissed, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna force choke the bitch, and she fucking died.
It's so stupid.
I like the humanization of the clones in the Clone Wars series, but then it's like, the best way I can see the whole thing with Order 66 going down is a mix between, like, the Clone Wars series and the games, where they're more humanized, but I can also get, like, you can tell some of them fucking regret it in the 2000, in, like, the fucking Battlefront 2, and he remarks how fucking quiet it was. Some traitorous thoughts, perhaps, but we didn't say shit. We knew what we were gonna do.
Well, and then they revealed that, well, the Jedi have always known about Order 66.
Like, shouldn't they be able to detect the fucking? It's like it's something that even comes up in that same fucking like stretch of time in the universe, because Yoda recognizes it from two fuckers about to shoot him in the back, but you're telling me a whole fucking temple of Jedi couldn't detect hostility from, like, the 30, like, the fucking 500 clones marching up the steps? I don't understand.
It's pretty dumb.
Oh boy, I'm sure these guys won't betray me in any way. I said, right flicking shot in my big fucking head. Chaotic.
Let's charge forward. Oh no, I'm going to die.
He turns around, like, fucking nods, goes back to trying to kill the droids, and then it's instantly just shot in the fucking back. No hesitation. Not even consideration for, like, the outcome of the battle. It's just instant, like, fucking execution right there on the front line.
Hey, Sev.
What are we all doing?
Nothing much.
Terrible things.
It's your turn.
No, it's not. I'm building things. Let me construct. You alright, Cole?
Yeah, just after your turn, I'm gonna go to bed.